like I said, maybe I'll keep this spoiler free in case anyone hasn't seen Stranger Things just yet. But yeah, so I blasted through all 4 episodes, kind of got through. I wanted to watch it as quickly as I could, mainly because of spoilers and of the sort. I knew spoilers were going to be rampant. It's the same thing. It's as always with these type of shows. If you don't watch them like immediately like that, you're going to see spoilers. Which, of course, leading up to one of the episodes, I saw a mild spoiler, freaking put up by Netflix itself, which kind of peeved me off a little bit. But yeah, so I blasted through to the task at hand. So I started watching Stranger Things, got caught up on all 4 episodes. I'll keep it, tell you what, I'll keep it spoiler free. That way I don't spoil it for anybody. Maybe some of you still have not watched it. What are my basic thoughts on it? Well, kind of a base level for me. I gotta say it. I don't know if it's something that like everyone else has kind of thought while watching this series so far. Not the series, I should say. I should say just this. In terms of talking this season so far. This season, the first 4 episodes, I gotta say it. The first 4 episodes are so dumb. I should add in. I like the 4 episodes. They're fun. It's as entertaining as it's been in a little bit. I don't think the show's been incredible since the first season. I've been out there saying that the first season by far, in my opinion, was the best season up to this point. This has been entertaining enough. It's almost as good as some of the previous seasons. But what I was saying about how this show is this season is incredibly freaking stupid. If you really think about it, if you think about really when you get to any of the motivations behind Vecna, and when you get, maybe they'll explain more, but when you get to the motivations of the military, Vecna, it's so dumb. Again, I won't delve into spoilers, but there's some things in this show that are just outright stupid. Like throughout a lot of the season, you have like the threat of Vecna looming in the background, and there comes a point where he does kind of step in and begins to get active. But then there are points when you get to the later end of the first half where you're like, well, why weren't you? Let's just say it does that thing where there are abilities that the villain has where it's like, why weren't you using any of this to start with? You know what I mean? And again, just the motivations are thrown off. They have this entire plot line that's happening with the military. It is so ridiculous, the military part. First off, this is a great screen grab to kind of bounce off of. If you remember, at the end of the last season, Angry Joe, I think, mentioned this in one of their videos. If you remember, at the end of the last season, like, essentially an entire, like, a crevice in the world opened up, and essentially an entire, like, avenue into the Upside Down split the town. Everyone's worried because it almost basically like hell has opened up in the middle of the town. What was it called? Hawkins. I can see it on a sign. That's right, Hawkins, Indiana. And there's this entire, and like the end of the last season, everything is like disheveled. The town is totally destroyed. There's a rift opened up into the Upside Down, and like you would think, like that would cause mass chaos, all sorts of issues for this town. And then bam, at the beginning of the season, oh, it's all covered up. There's metal plating put over this entire split through the town. Like there's a gap in the entire world, and they just put like sheets of metal up on top of it. It's really stupid stuff like that like is really annoying, I would say. Again, that may be a spoiler, but that's only for the first like 10 minutes of the first episode. Yeah, it's just really dumb stuff like that. It's like I was really hoping that it would lead to like maybe they evacuate the whole town, or the military has to be there in full force, and it's like, no, the military is like kind of there and kind of somewhere else. I won't spoil that, but like it's just incredibly dumb. There's kids like literally playing hopscotch or cars on top of metal plating leading to another world, and I don't know, that kind of stuff is incredibly stupid. The whole first 4 episodes were leading up to something really cool. And I was really hoping that they were going to stick with what they were leading up to, and it does something completely different, which I personally didn't really like. I would say the show plays it very safe. I don't think one single person has died so far in the final season of like this crazy show. They kind of fake out that they're gonna kill 2 characters, and then something happens, and the next thing you know, they're still alive, and you're like, okay. So like immediately, that's another thing that jumps to mind that I think the show's really failing at. and that's creating like a sense of dread in terms of Hawkins and the Upside Down, because it's kind of given some, I want to say it's giving Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones got way worse than this. There's definitely plot armor for many characters, and I kind of wish it would do some more stuff that like seemed kind of dangerous. Maybe they're saving it for the second half, I don't know. But and not only that, but what also lends to things not feeling very dangerous, or no one being, or at least for me, not really contributing to the tension, is like the Upside Down itself. Like the Upside Down itself, they're like, there's a bunch of stuff happening there, but none of it is like frightful or scary. Oh, you can see here in the video, there's people like just walking around the Upside Down with nothing happening to them. I don't know, the Upside Down has kind of been made into a joke a little bit, in my opinion. I did hear Angry Joe and them talking about it on their talk about it, but the writing in this season feels very rushed, very stupid. Again, just because I'm saying these doesn't mean I didn't like the 4 episodes. I actually did like it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I don't know. It's just, again, for me, there's just the plot elements and the plot direction that they were going in, for me at least, is wholly unsatisfying. The way they treat some of the characters, I heard someone say that like a lot of their progression and their personalities have almost regressed a little bit in terms of how they operate. Like one of the earlier on things was with Steve and I really should have remembered the name of the characters, the kid with no teeth. Steve and that character, in previous seasons, they were like kind of bickering, and they had like this big brother, little brother type thing where they would argue and almost fight a little bit. And like that was supposed to be something that got resolved in one of the earlier seasons. And then in this season, they picked that right back up, and they're like constantly arguing and complaining and talking crap about each other, and it gets kind of annoying. I should also say the Uma Thurman daughter, or Ethan Hawke Uma Thurman daughter, I forget that girl's name. I'm terrible with names if you guys can't tell. So that would be Dustin. Dustin was the kid with no teeth. Who was Uma Thurman? That would have been Robin. That's right. Yeah, I should say the Robin character in this show is outright just completely unlikable. Like, she's not the worst character, but she's very annoying. And I get it, that's what her character is, like, supposed to be, but I don't know. I find it darn near, darn near hard to watch with her character sometimes. Ooh, did I see a spoiler? Maybe not. But you know what? I don't feel like continuing. Like, again, this first 4 episodes, in my opinion, have been pretty dumb. There hasn't been much, like, I would say like the only character that you'll see that has like a lot of progression, that has a lot of development, that is getting somewhere, I would say, is Will. So if you watch this show, pay attention to Will. Will is like the only character I feel like that's going anywhere. None of the characters. I don't think Elle has made any progress as a character. Mike, I should say, Mike isn't doing anything. Not really none of the kids other than Will are really doing much. It's wholly disappointing again. Like, Will, I would say, is the only character really that is of any interest at all. And I will say there's even some things that they do here that, like, now that they're doing it, it's like, oh, cool. But then it's like, oh, but that kind of takes away from Elle a little bit. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe when the next 4 episodes come out, I'll do like we'll do spoiler talk or something, and I'll say, I just don't want to spoil it since, you know, it's still fresh, and maybe people will have like there's still a whole another 20 days until the next 4 or 5 episodes come out. I know they said something like it's going to be another 4 episodes. It's 4 total episodes, and that the final episode is going to be they're releasing it in movie theaters or something. It's like 2.5 hours or something like that. Who the heck are these kids? They don't even look familiar. I think overall, I would say I tentatively liked it. Didn't love it. I liked it. It's a fun watch. I would almost say, like, if you're going in being critical and wanting to be analytical and breaking down everything, you're probably gonna have a bad time if you're overly critical. It's that dumb, I would say, some of the stuff that's happening in this show. Probably the one benefit it would have over, like, the ending of a show like Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones, while very stupid, downright unlikable with what they were doing with the plot and stuff at the end, it was also just unsatisfying. It wasn't fun. There was nothing entertaining happening at the end of that show. This, I will say it, while it's dumb and stupid, I at least am having fun. There's at least characters there that are doing things that are entertaining. and there's plot threads. You know, it's just, I think the show is okay so far. It's okay. It's fun. I'm definitely gonna watch the last 4 to see where it goes. And that's all I really got. Vecna's kind of cool. You see Vecna again, and he's still his Vecna self. But yeah, that's my thoughts. There you go. Again, I tried to keep it spoiler free. Where's Vecna? Oh, there he is. You can see him all veiny and Rudy, Tree Rudy, whatever the heck he's become. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of fun. Go check it out. It's at least worth watching if you're like heavily invested, like I am. If you're someone who's watched all of their 4 seasons, and you're just like, that's kind of where I'm at. Is I don't know if I would watch this if I wasn't so invested, just because of the previous legacy views of the previous 4 seasons. We'll see. I'm really hoping the last 4 episodes pick up. Hopefully, now that all the dumb stuff is out of the way. What I mean by that is, like, because all of the stuff we were really worried or wondering about, and in terms of the plot and why things were happening, now that all of that has been explained, and we know now all that's incredibly stupid, now all that's out of the way, and now all we have to deal with, hopefully, is just the cool stuff, which is the fighting and how they deal with Vecna and everything. So hopefully from the next 4 episodes, it's all just dumb fun versus, oh, this is why this is happening. I'll be honest, I don't understand the motivations of the military in the show at all. Like, I understood it prior, but they were leading up to something really cool at the end of these 4 episodes. And then when you figure out what they're doing, you're like, at least I was like, that's not what I was expecting, and I don't understand how that makes any sense. I don't understand what their goals are. And kind of similar to that, Vecna's almost in the same boat, where it's like, I kind of get what he's doing, and I kind of don't get what he's doing. Yeah, that's Stranger Things. Hopefully, I wholly recommend going to watch it. Netflix is really lucky that I do have that legacy watch of Stranger Things, because in order to watch this, I had to redo my Netflix subscription, which was like, I didn't even realize, but I guess previously I'd been paying like $18 or $19 a month for the non-ads, and 100% for this viewing, I got the ads, which it was only like $7. So I'm like, shoot, let me watch the ads. Why am I paying so much? So good going, Netflix.
Well, well, looks like you've reached the end, haven't you, you imbeciles? On Enter ChazmaN, you'll witness gaming brilliance beyond your comprehension. ChazmaN Live brings the drama. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. EST. Longplays delivers full journeys, uncut and unspoiled. Join the Patreon, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok below, if you can manage it. Still not following Enter ChazmaN? Then mediocrity clearly suits you.